Hi, this is Camilla Kumara again. I um I had this strong feeling of talking to you, sharing something, and I was just out walking, and I really felt this this conversation taking place inside my head. I feel that I would really love to share this. And I see that it has to do with the present moment. It has to do with the phase that we are in, this period in time, with our growth and our evolution. But this topic it requires that I take you through uh, a story. So bear with me that this will be a story that I tell you. And it's quite personal. I haven't really spoken about this before and has to do with giving birth. So, in 2008, um, in 2008, I got pregnant for the first time. Expected our daughter, me and my fiance at the moment, my husband now. And this was took place 17 years ago. And at that time, I was at my third year at Psychosynthesis Academy, therapy training school, a third year when I became pregnant. So I was a lot in this deep personal development, my spirituality also. And so becoming a mother was a really big thing for me, as for everyone, of course. But maybe I, how I was in that period maybe was a bit different because I was spending a lot of time working with myself, and I also went to therapy as you are required to do and to be during the therapy training. So I had my therapist that I was seeing every other week. And so this that I am going to speak about was in that setting. So I had this sort of support in developing these thoughts that I otherwise kept a bit to myself, not speaking so much to other friends about. So, during the pregnancy, I was reading a lot of books, and I prepared a lot, prepared myself for labor for the first time. And what happened was that I found in a book this short text that was about a method, a technique to be during labor, how to meet the contractions, how to be in the body during the contractions, and how to approach the pain and so on. And this technique or method was not something widely known at the time. It wasn't scientific. It was just something that a midwife had, I would say, downloaded as a wisdom, sort of, from ancient knowing about the body and the feminine. And she had told this writer about it, and it was called the diving method or dive technique, Dyktekniken in Swedish. And I instantly, intuitively knew that this was it. This was something that I needed to master. This was something that was real, and this was how it was supposed to be. And the technique is about to go with the body, to be in full acceptance for what is occurring, to be in such a deep trust and faith in that you know that your body knows what to do. And so you go with the contraction, you dive into the contraction. You go so deep within, so you are in that oneness with the body and with the contraction. And in that moment, and you just dive with it, you are in a state of like a 0 point. It is beyond feeling pain because the pain doesn't really exist in that state of oneness in that presence. So, without going too much into the technique, which is really quite simple but quite difficult to master for us in our time and especially in the Western world, I think. Um, this was something that I prepared for. I meditated. I practiced going with the body. I focused so much on it. And that was 17 years ago. And it was for the birth of our first child. Um, and I would say that I partly mastered it. I was able to do it, um, part of it. Um, but it stayed with me. And during this time, this was the time when I more came here, came into my body. Um, I landed on earth in a way in my body during the pregnancies. And so that was 17 years ago. And then we had another child in 2011, and I did it again. I practiced it, and I didn't really care about other techniques. That I just knew that this is it. This is how it's supposed to be. I know I can do this, and I would say I a little bit more could master it up until the last part. But in 2016, we had our third child, and he was born on November 25th, 2016. And that day is actually, so it is his birthday tomorrow. And for that, sorry, long story here. I mastered it fully. Um, because at that point I was fully into working with my the spiritual work, and I had done so much work with myself, and I could even more master this technique of allowing, acceptance, trusting fully, uh, trusting fully my body, trusting fully the process, trusting the support. And so when our youngest child was born 9 years ago, I mastered this technique, and it was an amazing experience. No other ways of dealing with the pain, a little bit of acupuncture in the beginning, but nothing more. And it was an amazing experience and highly spiritual experience. And why this comes up now? It's not just because it is the birthday of my youngest tomorrow and it is the celebration. Uh, it is about this. We are in a phase right now, in a period of time, collectively, but we feel it individually, that requires us to know ourselves in that deep sense and to trust and have faith in the process, to have faith in the process when we are letting go of the old, processing, things coming up to be released, the shadow parts, everything trembling, changing around us. And we are connecting in a deeper way with the spiritual, with spirit. And so we might have a completely new sense of connection with God within, and we are truly embodying the divine. And this is about not resisting the process, not resisting the change, but to trust in the change, to trust this just as I focused on trusting the process during this labor. To be in that acceptance state and to really to dive with it, to just go with it, to not hesitate, to not go into fear, because that is the key. I couldn't go into fear anytime. I needed to be so clear and focused, regardless of how many hours. Uh, and so when you feel that fear arising, to see it, acknowledge it, to love it and accept it, and then transform it, and to go back and enter that I trust this process. I know that my body, my soul, spirit, God holds me. I know that I am safe. I know that I am supported. I know that I can do this. I know that I can manage this. So this diving technique or dive method, I think it is a little bit more known now, and you can Google it, especially in Swedish. It's like the surfers. That was the way of explaining in the book that I read. It's like the surfers when they go with a wave. You need to take the wave the right time, and you just trust and you go with it fully. You cannot be afraid. You cannot hesitate. You just go with it and you trust. And you feel that I know I can do this and I am supported. So there's all these parts of mastering the focus, to trusting, to be present, to feel that you are held and supported. We are in truly such a big shift together. And for each one of us, we need to do it individually. We need to do it to go through it individually, on our own in a way, and no one else can do it for you, but we are doing it together still. We are holding each other's backs, but It is about you and your connection and who you are, and to trust that you are carried in love and you are supported. Yeah, that was the topic that I wanted to talk about. And I don't know why I haven't spoken that much about these experiences. I think maybe it has felt intimate, and it's about me really. Um, During that phase, both this period in time when I was 28 and we had our first child, and that period of the first pregnancy, and then the development uh, sort of culminating with our third child, and how I could do that with the support of my husband, who really was by my side the whole time. Um, and yeah, just like we are by each other's sides now, and no one is alone. No one is alone. We are in this together at the same time. No one will do it for you. It is your process. And we are all different. And we are all different in what phase we are in. So to acknowledge that too. Thank you for listening. And I will speak again soon. Mm. Just in a week, we start the Walking My Path with Grace program. Check it out at Bright Auroras if you would like to be part of the 21-day experience starting December 1st. So much love.